This past Monday, RFC ran a group with one tank through oil turns 1 through 5. Unfortunately for this run, they had requested that all of our streamers do not transmit TeamSpeak chat through the stream. So I didn't have my stuff set up in a way where I could mute TeamSpeak and keep the game sound going through the stream, so I had to mute all sound going through the stream. So the source footage really only has me talking. There's no game volume, there's no music or anything. So I was going to go ahead and just replay the stream footage through the stream, overlay some music over it, and just kind of talk through what we did. Now, for me personally as a healer, I had never watched any videos going into this. I know, from what I understand, a lot of FCs have already completed turns 1 through 5 with one tank. So already knew in advance that it wasn't going to be anything that we're doing first. I don't know why I don't watch videos. Well, I don't say I don't know why. I just have a preference to figure stuff up on my own first. And so I just never went and looked at how other people did it. I just figured we'd run in here with our group and have a chat, and we'd be able to figure out what to do. And that's pretty much what it was. I mean, before every turn we talked for a few minutes or so, and we just rolled in, and we're fortunate enough to one-shot every boss in here, even though we had never done it before. It was a lot of there's a lot of things I think all of us could have done better, myself included. I like after every turn I was looking back going, man, I could have done this better, I could have done that better, because I, like for instance this ADS, I wasn't sure how much damage I was going to take. We had this basically where the white mage was going to tank the ads, so I wasn't quite sure again how much damage I was going to take, how long the fight would last, and you're going to see here that it doesn't last very long and there's not much damage to heal. So we'll go ahead and start playing here. So on this fight, we have any of our melee DPS just eat the repelling cannons from ADS, so they are going to be taking a consistent damage. So my plan going into this was just to have regens up on both the monks and our paladin, and that should establish threat pretty easily on the ads or the nodes that spawn here right behind me. I just threw a Medica 2 off for good measure. Didn't really need it, honestly. Again, more just kind of making sure that I was doing my job of tanking this thing and establishing hate. But not a whole lot of damage. And fight's already over. It lasted 61 seconds. Based on what people were saying afterwards, everyone sort of threw in something that they could have done better. I could have, for instance, started in cleric stance and thrown some damage out on ADS, and that would have brought our kill probably to under a minute. So what I would probably do is cleric, arrow 2, arrow 1, probably use presence of mind, just fire off a bunch of stone 2 casts, reapply my dots, and then go back to healing. Or maybe even just have the regens up before I do that. The trash is pretty straightforward. We just have our tanks group it all up. As a white mage, I will just try it, throw a regen on the tank and then just pop into cleric stance and start holding. And the scholar will take care of the rest. They probably don't even need the regen, to be honest, but it's just one of those things. I want to do what I can to help. And for the golems, I will put the golem on focus target. I don't use massive macros for healing in this game. I tried them and I just didn't like them. So I will, be targeting party members. So in order to see an enemy target's cast bar, I have to use the focus target. There I can see the obliterate when it's being cast, and I can time a Divine Seal Medica 2 with it. No one's gonna die from the obliterate, if they're going into it topped off. I just take a mob like that as practicing like a precast. I mean, it's coming. It's just a matter of trying to land that AoE heal right as that obliterate is going off. Same business, only the mobs. Now for Caduceus, we just had the tank obviously just grab the split when it happens, and they will merge, and we just decided to DPS and heal through it. Again, the golem, have an unfocused target. So again, I had never seen this one tanked. Again, I know that there's probably quite a few people that had done it, but I wasn't sure how to rotate cooldowns or anything, how long the fight was going to be, that sort of thing. So me and Layla were pretty much just winging it through the entire instance here. Now, one thing is this pull got a little dicey because I think one of our DPS had used an ability right on the pull, which had generated enmity, and I know that ended up getting our melee DPS hit a couple of times. And from what I understand, as they were having a chat after this was done, that did affect damage a little bit, which means we could have definitely gotten a faster kill. No one died. What was happening, I guess, is those tail swipes were being aligned with the monks' positional combo. When they were moving to get that positional bonus, that tail swipe was happening. Oh yeah, all of our scholars micro their pets. They will use Obey and keybind the pet's abilities. Okay, so the splits have merged. And I basically had timed my eye for an eye after our scholar's eye for an eye had worn off Tana. I used Presence of Mind with a bunch of Cure 1s, and that was really just to stabilize the tank's health through that section there. And I can see here that he has Sentinel off. I had stopped bombing Cure 2s there. I was watching his timer. As soon as it goes off there, I switched to Cure 2. And pretty much just stick with Cure 2, because at this point the boss is going to hit pretty hard. A lot of overheal here, but didn't want to run the risk because again we don't have a second tank, and it was just a matter of just keep him up. That's turn 1, and again I'm going to go through all the turns here, and I'm going to post all the videos separately. We will go ahead and fast forward to turn 2.